My wife just pointed out to me that as this review show's gone on, I have become less and less aware of my appearance. Whatever, no one's watching this. My wife and I team up to take on some of the best things streaming has to offer. Welcome back for more of Our Thoughts. No time for binging. The Umbrella Academy Season 2. Let's talk about Episode 3, entitled The Swedish Job. We start off in 1960 with Ben waiting outside a restaurant. Klaus is eating inside, but he can't pay the bill. This must be the day that they landed in Dallas. So of course Klaus gets thrown out. A kind, rich old woman helps Klaus up and goes to take care of him. Klaus sees an opportunity with this cougar. Wife asks, how is Klaus getting away with this? Because he's Klaus! The woman introduces Klaus to a bunch of old rich people, and Klaus shows off his powers by way of Ben lifting him up in the air a la Dirty Dancing. Wife points out that even though it's Ben lifting Klaus, it's Klaus's ability to commune with Ben that allows him to interact with physical objects. Also, how strong is Ben? Mexico, India, San Francisco. Klaus has created a cult either by chance, choice, mistake, I don't know. He calls them Destiny's Children. Nice. Now he wants to escape the cult. I guess Klaus embraced the idea of people loving him and doing things for him until it was just way too much. Maybe something changed his mind about leading a cult, and we just don't know it yet. Show title revealed by a group of birds. Or bats. I don't know. Did you see Ben staring at that girl on the bus? Diego getting some medical attention from Lila. Wait, where are your clothes? Oh, Lila. Vanya driving down the road to a traditional country song. She runs into the milkman. Oh no. Vanya doesn't know that she has power yet. Again. The other two white-haired villains coming from the side. Oh, come on. They are bad at their jobs. Seriously, the worst. If they're a part of the commission, then the commission hires terrible employees. They had Vanya point blank and blew it, even with a machine gun. Come on, fellas. White violent powers! Did she know she could do that? Oh my gosh. Back to Elliot's apartment. Wait, he's back to working with Five? He trusts him now? I thought they tied him up in the last episode. Did I miss a scene or something? Elliot has equipment set up to track sound waves. He's clearly tracking Vanya. Guy with a placard sign. The end is nigh. 2 on the nose. And out goes Luther for a Rocky-style run. Butterfly now. He sees a woman who, I swear, was the actress playing Vanya, and he trips. Running Hana. When he looks at her again, it's not her. The kids who were following Luther call him a naughty word. The Rocky nostalgia did not last long. Then Five runs into the cornfield and finds Vanya. That was pretty awesome. IKEA Mafia. That is officially their name and better than anything we could come up with. Five attempts to explain to Vanya what's happening. She made a crop circle. Another alien reference. Wait, did Vanya just trust Five without question? She doesn't know who he is yet. Wife says maybe that's evidence that she's faking her amnesia. However, she did seem genuinely surprised when that power came out of her. Maybe there are parts that she does remember, but there are other parts that are being suppressed at the moment. Luther back at Jack Ruby's place. He has a fight tonight. Luther needs a favor tracking someone down. Speaking of which, Allison shows up at Klaus's mansion. Is this actually his house? Did they just give it to him? Wife says Allison's wearing a very similar dress to the woman that Luther saw when he was out running. Are you sure, wife? Wife says they weren't exact, but the show dressed the actresses similar on purpose. I checked. Wife's right. Allison finds Klaus in the pool, and they have the sweetest brother-sister reunion in history. They catch up, they shoot the breeze. What a small world that Klaus would see Allison's husband in jail. I mean, how many jails are there in Dallas? Why didn't you rumor him out? I know! She says she hasn't used her rumors since using them on Vanya. No. Trying to use it on Vanya doesn't count if you didn't finish the job. Allison says that once in Dallas, she didn't speak for a year because of her throat injury. Wow. A woman in blue walks up. At first, we thought it was the handler, and then she spoke. It was the handler. She changed her hair. I don't like it. She lectures a redhead kid about tapping the glass on a fish tank, and she whispers in his ear. What did she say? Probably that he has no soul. He pees himself. What? Allison at the civil rights meeting. The group doesn't feel right about moving forward without her husband. They want to postpone. Allison wants them to move forward. Rumor them, Allison. Do it. Come on. It'll be easy. I heard a rumor. Come on. Allison instead gives an impassioned speech that works just the same, I guess. Back at the jail, lights flicker, a sandwich in the air. Typewriter starts typing, free chestnut or die. Ben can interact with objects a lot easier now. Anything for family, brother? Yes, Klaus and Raymond are brother-in-laws. I love it. Family barbecues are about to get real weird. I want to see that scene. Wait, Ben played off like he moved those objects without Klaus's help. How does that work? I thought it was Klaus had to conjure him and then he could interact with objects. But then, isn't Ben always conjured because we can see him? Can Klaus de-conjure him? 5 gets a cup of coffee with Vanya. 5 gives the most succinct recap of season 1 there ever was. Any questions? What do you remember? She doesn't remember anything before landing in Dallas. But she knew her name. 5 lies to her about what ended the world in 2019. He wants to protect his sister. Remember in season 1, we learned that 5 has a soft spot in his heart for Vanya. When he found the mansion destroyed in the future, he first called out for Vanya. We learned through Pogo that Vanya had been leaving sandwiches for 5 just in case he found his way back. And 5 noticed how emotional Vanya got when they were kids and ants were being killed. It's a subtle, sweet tenderness that he has for her. This may come back to hurt him. Vanya goes to call Sissy, but her son has an episode as a result of his autism. It's a heartbreaking scene. Honestly, I could barely get through it. In my opinion, this depiction of Harlan being autistic is pretty accurate. There are tons of parents who struggle every day trying to connect with their autistic child, and they need the help and support of loved ones and resources from schools. For more information, go to one of the autism links in the description. 5 hangs up on Sissy, imploring Vanya that the end of the world is more important. Yeah, it is. Diego in his tidy whities. He's on his way to get his father and stop this assassination. Lila pokes him in the wound. Diego is mad that Sir Reggie cheap shot at him. Come on, Diego, deal with it. Lila explains why she followed Diego, and this is the beginning of their love story. She begins admitting things to Diego that she probably would have been better off admitting in group. Now all of a sudden, I'm not trusting Lila. I feel like she's manipulating Diego emotionally. And then she slaps him, and they begin making out. Isn't Ellie in the next room? Oh, yup. There they go. And there he is. The handler in the bathtub looking at 5's file. Ooh, there's old man 5. I so want an old 5, young 5 conversation. Luther gets Allison's information from Jack Ruby and drives over right away. A cab also pulls up behind him and Raymond gets out. Ooh. Luther finds out that Allison is married again in the funniest way possible. Luther begins to eat his feelings. I'm really enjoying season 2 Luther. He's much more accessible and awkward and lonely. Allison walks into the restaurant and oh, it's going down. Klaus pulls up to a hardware store. What? Oh no, Klaus. You went to Dallas to find Dave. Oh no, Dave is 5 years younger. Still a teenager in high school. This is gonna get awkward. Eggshell paint doesn't exist? Yeah, it's white. Dave goes to mix paint for Klaus and Klaus has a PTSD moment remembering when Dave dies. Why is this episode so heartbreaking? Stop it! Did Ben also go to Vietnam with Klaus? Klaus is trying to save Dave's life, trying to get him to not sign up for the army and die in Vietnam. Oh man, Klaus has a major reason to stop the assassination. Back at the restaurant, the sit-in is still going. These customers are ruthless. Luther in the fighting pit. He is not focused. He's thinking about Allison, maybe. Oh no! He gets the nod from Jack and he goes to wreck the guy. Until, yeah, distraction by thinking about Allison. Luther wants to be hit. Back at the restaurant, Allison finds out that Luther showed up at the house. And she gets hot liquid poured in her lap. Oh, and the whole thing goes to hell. Rumor them, Allison. Raymond is getting wrecked by a police officer. Finally! She uses her power and gets the officer away from him. Raymond is so freaked out by her power. He cannot even stand to be near her. I'm calling BS on that. He's married to her. Why can't it just be like, hey, let's go have a conversation about what just happened. Or, I heard a rumor we went to go talk about this. Or, I heard a rumor that you forgot what just happened. Or, I heard a rumor that you didn't see me use my power. Luther wants to be hit as hard as he can to feel every ounce of pain. He gets rocked by this guy and flies back in slow motion. It's almost like he has a smile on his face and he looks up at the moon. So sad. Visually awesome. Cut back to Diego and Lila in bed. How does Elliot feel about this? Lila sneaks out and goes to the pet store? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. She gets a room key in the fish treasure chest? Oh my. Lila shows up in the motel room to meet the handler. What? Mom? When I said I didn't trust Lila, I thought it was maybe because she was using Diego to get back at someone or for protection of some sort. It had never crossed my mind that she would be working with the commission and or be the handler's daughter. What is the handler's endgame? Does she want the world to end? And it doesn't matter how or when? Is this a revenge plot? Is she going rogue? So many questions. So little time or space. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this with a friend. And join us next time for episode 4, entitled The Majestic 12. There was a movie in the 60s with a similar title. The Magnificent Seven. My Google search results showed that there actually is a group defined by conspiracy theorists known as the Majestic 12. And an alleged member was Roscoe H. Hillenkoetter. First, last episode, I mistakenly said he was the first director of the CIA. Turns out he was the third. But finding that out showed me that the second director of the CIA was Hoyt Vandenberg. Put them together, Hoyt Hillenkoetter. Am I a conspiracy?